in the morning, y'all. So clear my throat. All right, y'all. 7 signs of witchcraft activities in your church. You know, it's a lot of people. They be going to these churches and they feel different, you know, in churches. And like nowadays, some of these churches, it just got a little vibration. So I want to tell you guys 7 signs of witchcraft activities in your church. So first of all, y'all hit that like button, y'all hit that share button, y'all comment. Also, to subscribe to the channel and donate. Don't hate, guys. All right. So we finna get into it. Number 1, guys, signs of witchcraft activities in your church. Manipulative leader. Guys, this is the big sign of witchcraft activities in your church. If your leader manipulating you, telling you, or if you don't put money into the offering tray, you're gonna go to hell. Or if you go to another church, God not gonna bless you. Or bad stuff gonna start happening to you if you go to a different church. Guys, that's a sign of witchcraft activities that's using that minister, that pastor, you know what I'm saying, that reverend. Well, really, he's up under witchcraft. He got a witchcraft spirit. He's up under manipulation, guys. It all ties into manipulation when a pastor is telling you that. Because that's nothing but a lie. Nothing but a lie, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're supposed to give 10%, but you don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. You know, when you want to give to a church, God will tell you when to give to a church. When it's time to move on from a church, God will tell you when it's time to move on from a church. Excuse me, don't allow your leader tell you that basically witchcraft is going to take place in your life, right? If you move on from that church, or if you don't give money, right? Because a lot of people, what they tend to do is when they come down to these churches, they give money to the church, but they do it out of fear. They do it out of, oh, I'm gonna go to hell if I don't give money to the church. You should not think that you're gonna go to hell if you don't give money to your church. Or you should not think that that you wrong if you don't give money to a church, right? You know, you shouldn't think that way because God, he doesn't dwell in the places made of bricks, right? You know what I'm saying? The church was really supposed to be in you. And plus 2, I'm not telling you guys not to give money to a church. But what I'm telling you is when you give to a church, right? Or when you stand at church, you're supposed to do it genuinely. Don't do it because you fear that something's bad is going to happen to you if you don't stay at that church, or something bad is going to happen to you if you don't put money into that offering tray. You should never feel that type of way because that's not true. But a lot of these leaders, you know, this is what they do. They try to manipulate you because they got a demonic spirit. You know, they got demonic fallen angel spirit. These demons telling them, oh, if you don't, you know, telling them to tell their congregation, or if you don't do this, or if you don't do that, then bad stuff gonna happen to you. You're not gonna be blessed. You know how many pastors be telling they congregation that they're not gonna be blessed if they don't give, or if they leave the church? That's a lie, man. That's demonic spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's a religious spirit. All right, guys. So that's the sign of witchcraft activities in the church, guys. You gotta listen to these leaders, what they telling you. All right. Number 2, division and gossip, guys. This is another sign of witchcraft activities in the church, and a lot of this is going on in the church. And it's been going on in the church. I'm not even gonna say nowadays, but it's been going on in the church. Division and gossip. Excuse me, I'm about to say activities and gossip, guys. When it comes down to the division, what I mean by that is certain families in the church it's like it's all about their family. Like, you know what I'm saying? They family want to run the church, right? And they're against other people's families in the church. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of this going on in churches, guys. A lot of these people, you know, that's about division. That's in churches. That's not a God. You know, you got cults in the church. You got little alliances in the church that's against other people's family. Families against other people's families that's in the church. That's a cult. That's a demonic spirit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see other people's families participating in the church. You know what I'm saying? They want to be over the other family. You know what I'm saying? That's all ego. That's all demonic. That's all of Satan, right? Because God is over the church, really. You You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be no family over no family. And also, too, guys, when it comes down to gossip, a lot of gossiping goes on in the church and outside the church. You know what I'm saying? It be people, like when the pastor be preaching and the pastor is preaching the word of God, right? He's saying stuff that's right. You got family members talking to other family members saying, going against what the Bible is saying. That's demonic, man. That's an evil spirit. That's a that's a demonic spirit that's using that person. And a lot of times these people are not saved. They're not saved. So in discord amongst the brothers and the sisters, you know what I'm saying, talking about, when they get outside the church, they talking about the church, what's going on in the church. They never say nothing positive about the church that's going on. They always talking about what's going on that's negative or what they think that shouldn't be. Right? Gossiping, man. This is a sign of witchcraft. A lot of demonic spirits that be in these churches, that be using these people. I'm not saying everybody got demonic spirit in the church, but a lot of people in these churches, they be going in these churches for the wrong reasons. Oh, because my cousin go there. That's why I'm going to go to that church. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to link up with them. So we got a little cult going on. You know what I'm saying? Or my brother go there, so I'm going to go there. You know what I'm saying? Cults and gossiping. Right? That's witchcraft activity. All right, guys? Number 3, guys, signs of witchcraft activities in the church. The presence of a false prophet. No, it's some false prophets that's being in these churches. You know what I'm saying? Pastors selling their soul, selling out. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the church to become a mega church, all this type of stuff. False prophets. You know what I'm saying? You see the pastor preaching, and then on Saturday or Friday, you see him in the club, turning up, drinking Hennessy. False prophet. False prophet. He's trying to live a double lifestyle. You see the pastor, he got a wife in the church, but he got also two. He dating the church clerk. You know what I'm saying? He dating a church accountant. He dating her. You know what I'm saying? He got side pieces in the church. You know what I'm saying? False prophet. Living a double lifestyle, man. This is what happens. This is a sign of witchcraft activity that's in the church, man. And it causes confusion in the church. That's what it does, guys. So everybody thinking that they can do it because the pastor's doing it. When really the pastor's supposed to be used by God not to do that. Infidelity going on in the church. False prophet. Pastor cheating on his wife. False prophet. Pastor not standing on the word. He just speaking the word. False prophet. He's not leading by example. You know what I'm saying? Right? So this sign of witchcraft activity that's going on in the church, man, it causes confusion in the church when it's like your parents telling you to do what's right, but you seeing your parents do wrong things. That causes confusion in a child's mind. All right, guys. Another sign of witchcraft activity in the church, guys. Lack of accountability. Lack of accountability. It's like you can't even address certain people in the church when they're wrong because they too high up. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gonna agree with them, even when they're wrong. That's witchcraft activity going on in the church. That causes confusion. If the pastor is doing something wrong in a church, or if the deacons or the deaconess, right, doing something wrong in the church, people are supposed to be the congregation is supposed to be able to address them. My bad, y'all. I know I can barely talk. The congregation is supposed to be able to address them if you see them doing wrong. And you in the congregation, you're supposed to be able to address them without saying that, oh, what you saying is wrong. When really you right. But they should not agree. The pastors, and let's say the pastor's doing wrong, right? And you address the pastor about the wrong that they did. The church clerk or the deacons or the deaconess, they're not supposed to be agreeing with the pastor when he wrong. No. If you right, you right. But lack of accountability, they don't want to hold, the pastor accountable for his sins. You know what I'm saying? That causes division. That's false prophet. That's witchcraft activity. It causes confusion, guys. So if the pastor can do wrong, then I can do wrong. This is what a lot of people start to think. If everybody's taking up for the pastor when he's doing wrong, or if people taking up for the deaconesses or the deacons when they doing wrong, when the congregation address the deaconesses or the deacons when they doing wrong, they wrong about it when really they right about it, and everybody else is taking their side, right? That's high up in office. That's witchcraft activity. Like I said, the spirit of confusion is in the church now. Because it's like, why they can do wrong, but I can't? It's a big mess, guys. It causes a big mess. It's not standing on God's word. All right, guys? So, when the lack of accountability, that's a sign of witchcraft activity because it causes confusion. Number 6, guys, anger in the church. This is a sign of witchcraft activities in the church. Anger in the church. I've seen people in the church, guys, not going to call no names, like the devil just got on them. And they just got angry. Started yelling. You know what I'm saying? That's witchcraft activity, because what happens is when one person get angry, a lot of times another person get angry. Or the pastor, he's speaking to the congregation in an angry way. It causes the congregation to get angry at the pastor. So that energy travels, guys. That's a sign of witchcraft activities in the church, guys. That should not be. Because the church is supposed to be about peace. It's supposed to be about love. And it's supposed to be about correction. But you got to do it in the right way. If you're talking to somebody in an angry way, then most likely that person going to get angry right back at you. And it causes the church to have a low vibration. It put the church in a low vibrational state. That's a sign of witchcraft activity in the church, because it's demonic spirits that be in the church, coming to the church mad. The trustee coming into the church mad. The deacons coming into the church mad. The ushers coming into the church mad. That energy travels, guys. Sign of witchcraft happening in the church, because now other people get mad because they taking their anger out on other people. You should not go to church mad. It's a sign of witchcraft activities that's going to take place. The spirit of the devil is in the church. You just should stay home if you mad about something. Now, if you hurting, then you should go to the church. But if you angry and stuff like that, stay home. Because we don't need that low vibrational demonic spirit in the church. Because one apple can spoil a whole bunch. One spoiled apple can spoil a whole bunch, right? One rotten apple. So this is a sign of witchcraft activity, guys. Because any energy can travel. Number 7, guys. Another sign of witchcraft activity in the church. You don't feel the spirit of God in the church. Guys, like I said, it's some churches around here, bro. You don't feel the spirit of God in the church. You feel like you feel like the church is you feel like church spiritually dead. God will allow you to feel that energy. God will give you that spirit of discernment. When God gives you that spirit of discernment that a church is spiritually dead, that means you're supposed to flee from that church. Move on. Leave that church. If you don't feel the growth, or if you feel the church is at a low vibration, you're supposed to move on. Like I said, a lot of times, witchcraft, the devil, it's a lot of people in that church, their spirit is low. They have a low vibration. You don't want to feel that low vibration, so you leave that church. Because this witchcraft activity is going on a lot of times in these churches. This is why a lot of these churches are spiritually dead. A lot of gossiping, a lot of division, a lot of manipulative leaders, guys. That's in these churches. A lot of false prophets that be in these churches, right? I'm not saying all of them, right? But there's some of them, a lot of them, right? Lack of accountability, anger in the church, cults, alliances. You know what I'm saying? This family against this family. You know what I'm saying? Since you're not part of my family, I don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't love you the same. I don't treat you the same as my family. Since you're not part of my family in this church, right? I don't want nothing to do with you. That's witchcraft activities. The division, sowing discord. All this type of stuff that's happening in a lot of these churches, man. And this is why, a lot of them, they have a low vibration. Nobody want to come to them. You know what I'm saying? That religious spirit, right? That traditional spirit. A lot of people, they doing things in a traditional way, but it's like, it's no growth. If a church is doing something in a traditional way, but it ain't no growth, then that church needs to switch that up. You know, there's something wrong with that. It's something wrong with that. If a church is doing something in a traditional way and there's no growth, it's something wrong with it. A lot of times, that church is up under a spell of witchcraft activity. They was taught a certain way to do things, but it's not working. You know what I'm saying? It's really keeping the church at a low vibration because of their mindset. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these churches up under witchcraft activity, man. It got spells. You know, spell casting and spells in the minds of the people, of the leaders. They doing stuff in a traditional way, but the church is not growing. You got to switch it up. Because that means your church is being up under a spell. Up under witchcraft activity. You doing something, but it's no longer working no more. So you got to do it something. You got to do it in a different way so the church can grow. In a more way where you could bring in younger people, right? Because the youth is the church. So I hope you guys got some part of this video, man, this live, man. I hope it helped you out. I hope that encouraged you in some type of way. But these are the 7 signs upon the witchcraft activities in the churches. I just wanted to enlighten you guys, because a lot of you guys, y'all going to churches and y'all don't know if y'all should leave them or not. If the church is low vibrational and you feel that type of spirit, leave the church. Or if the church is let me see, division in the church. You got families, cults in the church. Families don't like other families, leave that church. That's witchcraft activity. That's division, right? Gossiping. They gossiping about the church. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them talking about how they can grow the church, they gossiping about the church. Witchcraft activities, man, in the church. The church had a low vibration. Leave that church. Right? The pastor trying to manipulate you, lying to you, you know, trying to force you to pay this, trying to force you to stay at the church. Witchcraft activity, man. Lying to you, telling that you're gonna go to hell if you don't stay at that church, or if you don't pay a certain amount of money. Witchcraft activity. Because you're supposed to give your money to a church or stay at a church because God telling you to do that. Not because you're a pastor. And a lot of these pastors, they cast fear. I'm not saying all of them, right? But a lot of these pastors, they'll put out fear. They'll push fear into the minds of the people to get people to stay at the church and pay money at the church. Which is witchcraft activities. Right? So I hope you guys got something up out of this, man. I hope it encouraged you in some type of way. I hope that it enlightened you. I hope that it opens your mindset about signs of witchcraft activities in the church. And I just wanted to give you guys these signs, because a lot of y'all going to churches and y'all don't know what y'all want to do. Y'all confused about if y'all should stay or not at the church. But if, like I said, if the Spirit of God is working in the church, you know what I'm saying? Then stay at the church. If it's healthy, if God is in it, stay at the church. But if the churches keep doing the same old thing, traditional things, and their church is not growing, that's a sign that the church is up under witchcraft activity. The minds of the people is up under a spell.